Hello viewers, welcome to UNC Digital Platforms. And today's lectures I am going to discuss the second part of the visible surface detection methods in topic of computer graphics. So here is an outlines which I will discuss in today's class. First I will discuss introduction concept about the surface detection methods. Then after I will discuss different types of algorithms which is to be used in case of surface detection techniques. So now to start our introduction concept, in general way the surface detection methods to be used. Suppose in case of 3D object, when the users to be needed for viewing this given object, maybe the user cannot be viewing the back space of the given object elements. Why? Because when we have to viewing any types of 3D object, only the viewers to be viewing the front part of the given object space. Okay, but whenever the programmers or the users to be needed for viewing the realistic image of the given 3D object, in this case it is required to calculate which is to be visible and which is to be not visible. So for this case, how all over the visible space we have to fetching and eliminate all over the backspace object of the given elements, so that we have to use the one concept, that's your surface detection methods techniques. In previous lecture already we have to learn different types of algorithms like your Z buffers and depth sorting methods. And on today's lectures we have to learn another some different methods or algorithms through which the visible surface we have to detect on 3D image and eliminate all over the backspace object elements. Okay, so now to check our next algorithms through which the different types of visible surface we have to detect. And the next algorithms of the surface detection methods, that's your scan line methods. It is an image space method to identify the visible surface. This method has a depth information for only single scan lines. In order to require one scan line of depth values, we must group and process all polygons intersecting a given scan line at the same time before processing the next scan lines. That means here it uses two important tables, one is the S table and polygon tables, for maintaining all over the scan lines depth values. So what is the term of the S tables? Here the S table contains coordinate endpoints of each line in the scene. After that, the inverse slope of each line and the pointers into the polygon tables to connect S to given surface. And another methods that to be provides for maintaining all over the scan line depth values, that's your polygon tables. The polygon table contains the plane coefficient, surface material properties, other surface data, and maybe the pointers to the edges tables. That means the scan line methods to be used for scanning all over the visible surface object elements by using your image space methods. As you know, in general way the surface detection methods to be fetching all over the visible surface by using two ways. The first one is the object space methods and another one is the image space method. In case of object space methods, if we have to scanning or fetching all over the object elements, here all over the object space to be compared with the given scene definition elements. If these scenes to be present in between your given object space, then it to be accessed. But another methods that to be uses, one is that's your image space method. The image space methods to be provides for fetching all over the visible surface object pixel by pixels. So here the scan line methods to be uses the image space methods, and by using the given image space methods, here the scan line to be accessing the highest deep value of the given object. Then by using the deepest value of the given object space, it to be scanning all over the front surfaces which is to be viewing by the end users. Okay, and this scan lines methods to be storing all over the deep pixel value by using two ways. One is the edge tables and another one is the that's your polygon tables. That means here this figure illustrates the scanline methods for locating visible portions of surfaces for pixel position along the given lines. That means here one scan lines, that's your scan line 1 and it's your second scan line and it's your third scan lines. The active list for line 1 contains information from the edge table of the edges AB, that means AB, then here is the AB, BC, EH and FG. For position along this scan line between edges AB and VC, only the flag for the surface S1 is on. Therefore, no depth calculations are necessary and intensity information for surface S1 is entered from the polygon table into the reference buffer. Similarly, between edges EH and FG, only the flag for the surface S2 is on. Okay. After that, no other position along scan line 1 intersect surface. So, the intensity values in other areas are set to the background intensity. The background intensity can be loaded throughout the buffer in an initialization routines. Okay. For scan line 2 and 3, the active edges list contains edges AD, EH, BC, FG. Along scan line 2 and from 3, here the edges AD to edges EH, only the flag for surface S1 is on, but between the edges EH and BC, EH and BC, here the flag for both surfaces are on. In this interval, depth calculation must be made using the plane coefficient for the two surfaces. For these examples, the depth surfaces of S1 is assumed to be less than the S2. Okay. So, intensity for surface S1 are loaded into the reference buffer until boundary BC is encountered. Then the flag for surface S1 goes off and intensities for surface S2 are stored until edge FG is passed. We can take advantages of coherence along the scan lines as we pass from one scan line to the next scan lines. In this given figures, scan line 3 has the same active list of edges as scan line 2. Since no changes have occurred in line intersections, it is unnecessary again to make depth calculations between edges EH and BC. Okay. The two surfaces must be in the same orientations as determined on scan line 2. So, the intensities for surface S1 can be entered without further the given calculations. Okay. So, by using these methods, the scan line algorithms to be solved for finding the given visible surface detection elements on view screens. A buffer method. Here, the A buffer method is an extension of the depth buffer methods or Z buffers. Here, the A buffer method is a visibility detection method developed at Lucasfilm Studios for the rendering system renders everything you ever saw re-eyes. The main function of this A buffer expands on the depth buffer methods to allow transparency. To allow transparency, the key data structure in the A buffer is the accumulation buffer. That means here is the object, here is the main object that to be viewing above the part of viewer screens. In this case, the front portions that to be viewing very easily and the back side positions may be the users to be viewing by using its transparent concept. So that it uses another types of buffer, that's your accumulation buffers. Okay. Here each position in the A buffer has two fields. One is the depth fields, it stores the positive or negative real numbers, and another one is the intensity field. It stores surface intensity information or a pointer value. Okay. So now to check how that to be executes. Here if the depth value is greater than to 0, the number stored at That position is the depth of a single surface overlapping the corresponding pixel area, and here the intensity field then stores the RGB components of the surface color at that point and the percent of pixel coverage. Okay, but when if the depth value is less than to 0, then it indicates multiple surface contributions to the pixel intensity. Then after, the intensity field then stores a pointer to a linked list of a surface data. Okay, that's your linked list structures where it will be stores all of the depth value by using the next address of the node. Okay, and here the surface buffer in the A buffer to be includes different types of data value like your RGB intensity components, opacity parameters, depth and percentage of area coverage, surface identifiers. That means here if the depth field value is negative, this indicates multiple surface contributions to the pixel intensity, and the intensity field then stores a pointer to a linked list of a surface data as this given in illustrations. Then after, if the depth field value is positive, the number stored at thread position is the depth of a single surface overlapping the corresponding pixel area. The A buffer methods is the extensive methods of the depth buffers. As you know, in case of depth buffers, also by using the depth pixel position value, we have to accessing all over the hidden object space. So in case of A buffer methods, that we provides another facilities for accessing all over the hidden object which is to be present on the back side of the given 3D image. In this case, that to be accessed by using the transparent methods. That means here first that to be accessed all over the front space of the object, then after it to be scanning all over the transparent by using some opaque natures all over the object data value. Okay, and that to be possible by using one buffers for scanning all over the transparent object space, and this buffer is that's your accumulation buffer. So now goes to our next algorithm methods through which the surface to be detecting the hidden surface to be eliminated and the viewing surface to be accessing. So next method is that's your depth sorting methods. Here the depth sorting methods uses both image space methods and object space operation. As you know, in general way the surface detection methods to be uses two methods, one is the image and another one is the object. The object space to be scanning all over the viewing space object by using the scene definitions, and the image space to be scanning all over the front space by using your number of pixel points that to be present with number of pixel points which is to be present in between your front space of the given object. Okay, but in case of depth sorting methods, that's to be solved by using this given two mechanisms. That means by combination of image space and object space, we have to accessing all over the front space of the object. So how that to be possible? First, here the surfaces are sorted in order of decreasing depth. Then after, the surfaces are scanned converted in order starting with the surface of greatest depth. Then after that, when these two steps to be performed, then the scan conversion of the polygon surface is performed in image space, and this method for solving the hidden surface problem is often referred to as the painter's algorithms. Okay, and these two pictures to be viewing how the depth sortings to be possible by using the sorted in order of decreasing depth and surfaces are scan converted in order format. Okay, that means here first sort all the surfaces according to their distance from the viewpoint. Then after, render the surfaces to the image buffer one at a time starting from the farthest surfaces. Okay, then after the surfaces close to the viewpoint will replace those which are far away. Then after, lastly, after all surfaces have been processed, the image buffer stores the final image, and by using the final image it to be fetching all over this on the viewing screens. The basic idea of this method is very simple. When there are only a few objects in the scenes, this method can be very fast. However, as the number of objects decreases, the sorting process can become very complex and time consuming process. That means in case of depth sorting methods, it to be provides another facilities if we have to needed for scanning all over the viewing object parts, then that will be possible. So how that to be possible? This to be possible first to be scanning all over the pixel points which is to be nearest of the viewing object, that to be ordering on a particular increasing or decreasing ways. Then after it to be check, then after it to be scanned one after another pixel points which is to be nearest to the viewer eyes. Okay, and after scanning all over the images pixel point, then it to be interconnected, and after that to be providing one finite images through which the user to be identified the given realistic image. Okay, so this is the depth sorting methods. That means on today's class we have to learn how all over the 3D objects we have to viewing on realistic format by using different algorithms. In previous lecture already we have to learn 2 algorithm, but on today's lectures we have to learnings different methods like your scanline conversion methods. By using this scanline conversion methods, we have to scans the pixel points which is contains difference in which is to be contains diffused intensity value, and by using the diffused intensity value we have to scan all over the front images through which we have to viewing the realistic images in very accuracy ways. And the scanline methods to be uses 2 types of buffers which is to be stores the intensity colors and intensity values. And another methods we have to learn also on today's class, that's your A buffers, and the A buffers to be is the extension field of the depth buffers. The A buffers to be provides another facilities. Here all over the pictures to be executed by using the transparency mechanisms through accumulator concept. That means here it will be provides one type of buffer, that's your accumulation buffers, through which first it will be scanning all over the realistic images. After that it will be realistic images which is to be viewing above the part of front space. Then after it will be scanning the backside images by using the transparent pixels values. Okay, so that's your A buffer methods. Then after we have to learn another types of methods, that's your last one is the depth buffer mechanisms. In case of depth buffer mechanisms, it will be provides another ways. Here it uses both image and space methods through which the given surfaces to be detected, which is to be viewing on the part of output screens. So how? In this case first it to be scanning all over the pixel points which is to be viewing above the part of output screens, that means the viewers to be viewing. Then after it to be arranging all over the pixel points on increasing order or decreasing orders, one after another. After that it to be connecting from viewers points 2 up to the last pixel points for creating one finite pictures through which the user to be easily identified which type of objects that's to be viewing. Okay, so on today's lectures that's all. If any conflict or confuse in your mind, then you can ask me with the help of comment box. That's all. Thanking thou.